Yo, what is going on, you guys? This is me, Jason, aka Titans Daily, and I'm just gonna let the Twitter thing right here do all the explaining. Right there, look at it's Brian Daboll. The Titans have hired Brian Daboll as their new offensive coordinator, getting rid of Nick Holtz and that other dude, Bo Hardigree. Um, I think this is a great move for the Titans. I mean, the Giants were the ones that offered the Titans three first round picks for the first overall picks. Oh well, I'll pull it up. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about here in a second. This is what I was talking about right here. The Giants offered the number 3 pick, a 2026 first rounder, and multiple day 2 picks last year to the Titans for the number 1 overall pick to select Cam Ward, but the Titans declined. Um, you know, uh, see, stuff like this is just another hypothetical. I think Daboll's going to do a really good job with Cam Ward. I think it's a great hire for what it's worth. I think a lot of people mentioned where we hired Saleh, Robert Saleh, the former 49ers defensive coordinator, for those of you that didn't know, and the former Jets head coach, if you didn't know that either. And he went from 49ers to the Jets, and then he went back to the 49ers DC, and then from the 49ers to the Titans as a head coach now. So I think Robert Saleh is doing a great job. I think he's going to be a really good defensive mind. It was either him or Jesse Minter from the Chargers, in my opinion. I know the Matt Nagy saga continued for a better part of 2 weeks, and a lot of people thought that we were going to hire Matt Nagy because he's an offensive-minded head coach. And just like Shane Steichen with the Colts. I mean, the Colts are in a load of trouble right now. And so are the Titans. The Titans and the Colts are in the same boat theoretically. I say theoretically because they've been stuck in the same gear since 2008. I mean, the Titans were really good 4 or 5 years ago, but they traded AJ Brown. They traded a lot of pieces. Traded AJ Brown. They went on a downfall in 2022. They went 7-10. They lost to the Jags in that Week 18 game on Saturday night or whatever that was. I don't remember exactly when it was, but I remember it was 4 years ago. And I remember Josh Dobbs was our quarterback. It was just not great. And then Vrabel came back for what would have been his last year. And then ultimately after that season, after that Jags game, which was crazy, Derrick Henry's last game, Ryan Tannehill's last game as a Titan. Um, you know, Amy said, you know what, Ryan, you're going to go in there, tell Mike Vrabel that he's been relieved of his duties. And I remember reading that news after walking out of a class, and I was like, damn, we just lost Vrabes, dude. And I knew it from there. I even told my professor at the time, I was like, dude, the Titans just fired Mike Vrabel. And I know he doesn't watch football that much, but he was like, I feel for you. I know that's a tough time. It's like an AI ass answer. But anyways, as I was saying about Brian Daboll, another good thing that I can pull up here, is what's the word I'm looking for? The ability to what's it called? The sought after position, aka like the most desirable position. A lot of people call the Titans job the most desirable because of these 3 reasons right here. Well, one reason, having over 100 million projected in cap space, which is the most in the NFL. You're going to hire Robert Saleh, who's a great defensive mind. Brian Daboll as offensive coordinator. Cam Ward. You got Jeffrey Simmons. You got T'Vondre Sweat. You got Cedric Gray, Cody Barton. Jihad Ward. You got a lot of young pieces on a young team. I think what the Titans need to do now is hire a decent level defensive coordinator or, do something. But Robert Saleh made it clear that he was going to keep Bones Fossil, our special teams coach, as his own. Like, he's going to let him do his job. which I am a big fan of. I really like Bones Fossil. What he has done. Getting those punt returns for Chim DK. You know, making him an outstanding player, young player that he is right now. Chim DK, Chimere DK, for those of you that didn't know, was our primary punt returner. He's probably going to be our primary punt returner. Kick returns is probably going to be Chim DK too, unless Alec Manor wants to step up. But I think Alec Manor is just going to play that slot Y role. So Y role, basically the letter Y. Y in an offense is your slot, basically. And you can move your slot from one end of the formation to the other. It really depends on your personnel, right? But I don't want to get into all that personnel stuff. There's so many personnels you gotta learn, like 11 personnel, 12 personnel, 13 personnel, wing T. You got so many different terminologies you can use. But I think this is a great hire, in my opinion. I think it's a great hire because you're working with somebody that pretty much worked with Josh Allen from day one. We saw a little bit of progression with Jackson Dart, especially last year. I'm just talking about sample size here. Who the Titans take at 4, and same thing with free agency. I just wonder, like, what's the whole, like, salary cap situation, because we see it's over $100 million, but there comes, like, a caveat of, like, how much is that going to be, like, after you re-sign, restructure, franchise tag, etc., pick up a 5th-year option. I can just think of 2 players. Well, just one, actually, because we only had 1 first-round pick in 2023, and that's Peter Skoronski, which the Titans should definitely pick up his option, and I would be very surprised if they don't. They might sign him to a long-term deal. That might be the case, but I don't know. Just my general thoughts on the 2 hires so far that we know of, unless Schefter's already put something out, which I'm not surprised he would right now. I saw that the Cleveland Browns hired Todd Monken, but this isn't a Cleveland Browns YouTube channel. This is a Tennessee Titans YouTube channel. But anyways, as I was saying, good hire. I would give it a B+. The reason why it wouldn't be an A or an A- is just because, there's a little bit of uncertainty, with Brian Daboll, and, whatever the Titans decide to do with Brian Daboll, it's going to help out tremendously. I think maybe the Titans can sneak out Jameis Winston as a backup quarterback instead of Brandon Allen. Maybe the Titans will do that. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, Jameis Winston's first game was against the Titans. His first ever throw was a pick 6. And another quarterback that had another first pick 6 in his career, and his first ever pass was Brett Favre. If you didn't know that, when he was with the Falcons, before he got traded to the Packers, he threw a pick 6. I forgot what the team he was against, but that was such a long time ago. I was like negative 10 years old when that happened, right? So, anyways, just wanted to pop on here and say, the Titans hired Brian Daboll as their offensive coordinator. Another couple updates with the whole Road to Glory situation. The national championship is coming out tomorrow, Thursday. I'm editing it right now as we speak. But, I'm going to leave that for you guys to watch if you want to. I have a Titans mock draft, like just a specific Titans draft. I'm not doing, each individual team who's going to pick where, because Dante Moore obviously decided to forego his NFL draft and withdraw his name from the NFL draft and decide to play another year at Oregon. So there's that to consider, but I'm not going to do a full 32 team mock draft again. That was interesting. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, hit the like button down below. I truly appreciate all of your support. If you guys are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos like this. And I think the whole situation with Saleh and Ward, A lot of Titans fans are like, no, 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 don't give me hope. Well, the hope is to win more than 4 games next year, right? Because if you look back on it, before the Chiefs game last year, their last home game win was against the Patriots in 24 against a rookie Drake May, and Drake May is off to greener pastures, as we saw, just like Mike Vrabel. I think that's the biggest winner and loser of the weekend. Biggest winner being the Mike Vrabel-led Patriots, and the biggest loser is the Titans moving on from Mike Vrabel. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.